Hey everyone, this is Laura and welcome back to the example readings, the demo readings for the Root Chakra series of the Chakra Intuition System. So most of you guys probably have a PDF workbook or two that you may have gotten access to with one of your sign-ups or enrollments this week. And we have many students in many different programs, so it all depends on what program you signed up for, but I think all of the classes and programs that we've been offering did indeed include that PDF workbook. So the image that you have on the screen right now of, if you're watching this on video as well as listening to my voice, is the Root Chakra overview spread from the Chakra Intuition System. And in the demo reading series here, in the Root Chakra series, you're going to see demo readings for all of the different vibrations that we look at within the Root Chakra series of readings at the Chakra Intuition System. But this overview spread is a really great one to do if you have an issue about anything to do with the realm of earth energies. Now, tarot students, you might know at this point that the earth energy realm, so the element of earth as opposed to the element of water, the element of air, or the element of wands, which is fire. The element of earth, which in the tarot corresponds to the suit of pentacles. You may already be aware of that association if you're one of my students from Virtual Tarot School. And so what you are going to see when you do really just spot-on readings for issues in the root chakra area is that you may have pentacles come up in these readings for the areas that you can really tell your querents this is what you should do to actually physically get the results you're after. So if someone comes to you wanting a reading, or if you want a reading for yourself, to do a reading for yourself, about anything to do with that earth element domain, issues to do with place. The first reading we have up today has to do with just kind of feeling out a situation to do with a move and a couple of homes and whether to buy or rent or move locations or stay. And you'll see all of that in this first root chakra overview spread as sort of the main issue that we are bringing forward a root chakra overview spread for, because of course issues to do with place and home, and buying and selling homes or renting homes and finances, that financial part of the home, that's all root chakra stuff, right? In some way, you are going to be feeling that issue energetically and vibrationally in the domain of your root chakra, because that is the domain that, just like you can probably see on the root chakra overview spread, has to do with centering and grounding and being who you authentically are and having a degree of certainty in your life and stability. And victim issues and nurturer issues can play into how you're doing with all of this root chakra stuff. And right there on the bottom, sorry about this is an older version of the slide where I accidentally put the very bottom vibration that's depicted in this spread in white font instead of black font, so it's a bit hard to read on this slide. My apologies for that. It says safety and security is that very bottom one, if you're having a hard time reading this. But all of those issues are issues that you can do a lot of very powerful readings for anything to do with place, like issues to do with homes and whether to move or not, or if there's an issue to do with health or an issue to do with finance, or really anything that has that strong earth component of the issue, something that has a very physical part of it. This is good stuff to do a root chakra overview spread for. And how I like to guide people through the chakra intuition system in general, especially if I'm doing a series of readings with people, like sometimes I'll sit with a person either virtually or actually in person in my retreat house here in northern Arizona. But we can do this online as well just as easily. We will have a VIP session, which sometimes takes 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, or is even structured as a series of readings within a day-long retreat, where we do some energy work sessions between readings. What happens then, as far as my recommendation goes to my students who are learning how to do readings like this from me, is to go through these readings from, first of all, maybe doing a larger reading. Like you have some examples here of the year-long grand cycle readings. Those are brilliant readings to begin an open VIP session or day retreat with. So, you know, that reading could take several hours to bring through in its entirety. Then from that overall perspective that you can gain in something like the grand cycle reading, you can do perhaps you sort of get the information about what's coming up in your year with that one. I love the grand cycle reading as an opening or an entree to a series of more root chakra specified readings, because the grand cycle reading is linked so intrinsically to the element of time, right? Or the frequency of time, you could say. But that's a really solid foundation of here's what's happening in the span of an entire year. So the grand cycle is a good reading to open with because it's a really big picture reading. Now from there you get the whole big picture, and if you're doing a series of readings for yourself or a client, and you could certainly take yourself through a series of readings as your own personal day-long retreat if you would like. You can then go from the grand cycle reading. Maybe if you woke up and you started with a nice morning rejuvenating practice, a yoga practice or something, and then from there you went into session and you brought forward a grand cycle reading. It might take you a couple of hours. You might come out of that session around 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning. And then from there, you're going to be able to sort of break and do some more energy practices, have some R&R time, maybe schedule something really restorative for your physical self at that time, because the realm of readings is very etheric and can sort of be a little bit ungrounding unless we couple it with the energy work practices that we do at the Chakra Life System, and practices like that, yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong or any of those practices would be a great thing to do after getting out of a grand cycle reading, because that's a biggie. That takes a lot of very sort of heady energy to bring through, but the benefit of bringing through that reading is really worth it. I would definitely recommend some sort of R&R type work on a restorative level for yourself after doing a reading like that. But then after, you would maybe break for lunch and a yoga session or something, you could come back in the afternoon and do more specific readings. Now, a really good way to do more specific readings is to open perhaps with a Celtic cross spread, and then continue into the chakra intuition system of readings by opening a more vibrational attunement session with the 7 chakra basic chakra spread, the very first spread that you'll see in your PDF document. Now, after you've got that basic chakra spread brought through, here's what's going to happen. You'll have somewhere between 15, 30 minutes with the client or with yourself on your schedule, and anywhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 12 hours to do readings with them, depending on how long they're with you. Now, that basic chakra spread is going to show you a lot of information, and you're going to see cards when you do that spread with a deck of tarot cards or oracle cards that jump out at you in that chakra reading as, ooh, here's where we might want to focus more. So if the root chakra jumped out at you as an area that you would like to do more with, you would then maybe do a break and some restorative work, but then come back and do a root chakra overview spread as the next spread you brought forward. And if you're doing a day-long retreat, you may identify 3, 4, 5 chakras that you want to go really much more in depth with, or you could even do a session for each of your chakra centers where you brought through one of each of the different chakras overview spreads. So you did all 7 of the overview spreads. That's another way of doing it. It really all just depends on how much time you have to bring how much information through. But then the benefit of doing the root chakra overview spread is you can get a sense from this spread of which vibrations that are governed by the root chakra system might be vibrations to do even further, more in-depth, specific readings for. And in the complete chakra life system and the complete chakra intuition system, you will find a spread or blueprint for the energy sessions in chakra life for each of the individual vibrations within the different chakra centers. So here in the root chakra system, we actually have a further 8 different readings that we can do for each of these 8 vibrations that you see diagrammed on the screen, on the handout. So we have a vibrational activation session for certainty, and we also have an intuitive reading to show you for the vibration of certainty. And you'll see me do some of those in this series of sessions, in the root chakra series of demo sessions. So the demo sessions here are here for you as demonstration readings that take these vibrational blueprints and use them as maps for intuitive spreads, maps for where to lay cards down in an intuitive spread if you're like me and you love the tarot and you like to do tarot readings for these. Of course, I have classes on tarot for beginners and advanced tarot courses for anyone who's interested in learning more of the tarot system that I've fallen so very in love with over the last couple of decades. But even if you had a favorite oracle deck, or you wanted to use rune stones, or sort of designate these points in front of you somehow and hover a pendulum over there and see how that does as a divinatory tool, you're more than welcome to use these spreads in any way that works for you. Tarot just happens to be my favorite modality. So the demo spreads that you're going to see me doing are essentially going to be with cards. I can photograph and depict cards for you with a greater degree of ease than just saying, oh, I cast this pattern in the I Ching. I love giving people the images and the symbology, because then you get into all of the mythic languaging and transformative manifesting power of the cards, and we address a lot more of that in our mythic manifesting course. But right here, what we're going to be doing is the intuitive readings. So the very first one that we're going to be bringing forward for you this week is the root chakra overview spread. And it's for guest number, let me see if I get this right, our reader circle members actually get to be the guests for these readings, which means that the demo readings are actually for them, but I keep them in anonymity by giving each reader circle member a guest number. And in this way, I privately message them saying, hey, you're this number guest this week. But it's anonymous and nobody else knows who the reading's for, but we can still do these sessions where all of you guys get to learn from the demo reading example. But you know that also that it's for a real person, and having a real life example of a real life person having their cards read and having that card reading explained to you from the intuitive medium who's doing the reading is incredibly valuable in the way that it really allows you that experiential element of learning to do intuitive readings, and that is very, very important. I can give you PDF workbooks of content and spreads and, you know, set you loose, of course. But it's so much more valuable if you get to experience these readings for yourself and for others. So hence the Reader's Circle, and the Reader's Circle get the value of having real readings from me to them, and that adds a whole other layer of learning for them, and it's a great opportunity to get intuitive readings, of course, and very fun for me because by just limiting myself to only doing readings for my reader circle members, what I end up with as my clients are some very advanced students, and students who are truly into the idea of doing the energy work sessions over at Chakra Life System to do their own healing, to take this reading beyond the realm of quote unquote destiny and bring it fully into your hands. Because what we do is we do choice-centered readings, and what these readings give us is they give us prescriptions for where to do our work, to where to do our energy sessions, to where to focus, and there's a lot of what to do in these readings. So a lot of people might get the sense that getting a tarot card reading is all about being told what your destiny is and when your soulmate is going to show up or not. But I don't really like that way of thinking about tarot card readings, because it takes all of the choice out of life for the querent. So in that way, it's actually quite disempowering. So in the readings that I do, I empower the client, and you'll see how that works by kind of following along in this first reading. So here we go.